Year-old toddler lost his life this week to a gator attack at Disney. The theme park was reportedly warned a number of times about issues with alligators. Attorney Christi Kunzig says that means Disney could be held liable for the attack, but attorney Remy Spencer disagrees. Christi, starting with you. Was this negligence? I mean, after all, Disney knew that there were alligators there in that swamp, and yet they had a beach with beach chairs on it and seemingly welcoming people to come and dip their toes in the water.
Right, this absolutely was a case for negligence. Negligence is very simple. There's 5 elements that you need to prove. You need to show that there was a duty, which here, as a resort, they absolutely have a duty toward their guests to keep them safe. Then you have to show that they breached that duty by not removing the alligators, by not posting signs, not putting up fences. They absolutely breached that duty to them. Then you have to show the cause and fact, which is, but for their negligence, this wouldn't have happened. If they had done something to get rid of the alligators, this child wouldn't have sustained any injuries. Then you have to see, was it foreseeable? Seeing as how this has happened previously in 1986, this is absolutely foreseeable.
Well, I think this was the first time something like this actually ever happened.
No, actually, and I know this because I'm from New Hampshire, and it happened to a guy from New Hampshire, believe it or not, 30 years ago. Yes. It was all over the media. So when this happened, and Disney had initially said, oh, this has never happened before.
Right.
I immediately said, no, you know what? It did. I remember as a kid this happening. And sure enough, 1986, a young boy at the time was bitten. His sister and his brother saved him, but he was bitten at Disney by an alligator.
Well, I didn't know that, so thank you for telling me that. And, I think that their mistake in the initial press release just goes to show you that this is going to be a problem for Disney, not just in a civil lawsuit, but also in public relations. They're going to pay dearly, I think. The issue.
Why the heck didn't they have a lousy sign, right? The hotel next door had all these signs: beware of gators, no swimming, beware of gators. They didn't do that.
I think a lawyer that represents Disney would probably present the following arguments. They would say, we told people not to swim. There was a pool nearby, that's where they should be swimming. We did have signs up. And I think the question is going to be this. Were the signs sufficient? The signs that say stay out of the water?
And it said steep drop off.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, well, there's a steep drop off. You don't think there's an alligator there waiting for me.
Were they doing enough to protect their customers from the alligators? And what's been reported is that they've been, upon every sighting of an alligator, they were taking them out of the water and euthanizing it or removing it to somewhere safe.
Yeah, I just wonder though, did Disney not want those signs there, Christi, because gosh darn, it shouldn't forbid with the whole Disney experience and everything's supposed to be so magical in the Magic Kingdom?
And at the end of the day, it is a business. They want these people to come and spend $2,000 a night to stay in these little resorts. So you don't want them thinking, oh my gosh, this is a dangerous place, there's alligators here.
So again, back to negligence.
Yeah.
What kind of damages are we talking about here? I mean, I think that, I've got a little boy myself, and we've been to that very same hotel, and my heart goes out to this family, as I know everyone's does right now. Because it could have happened to anyone, just a really horrible accident. What kind of damages are we talking about?
When you're looking at this, you're looking at a wrongful death case, and you're going to look at things like conscious pain and suffering, which you have to think what this poor boy had to go through during the attack. He was conscious, he was aware of it, he knew what was happening, and he's terrified, and that's going to be something that goes for damages.
And then the family, they watched it, they saw it, it's something that will live with them forever.
I have a daughter, and when I first heard this story, I, like anybody that heard about it, was sick to my stomach. It's unfathomable that something like this could happen. So I believe if Disney is smart, they're going to offer this family a financial settlement. No amount of money is ever going to make them whole, but I think that that's going to be their sign of good faith. And then the next step is to protect the public from this ever happening again, whether it's removing the alligators, putting up signs, more warnings. I think everybody knows about it now, but they have to take more steps to protect their customers.
This is a company that's making billions and billions and billions of dollars a year. So, whether they pay 10 million, 100 million, 300 million, it doesn't really matter to them when they've got billions of revenue coming in. And I think there's a part of everyone who's seen that story that just wants Disney to pay. Will they pay in terms of, a decline in hotel rooms, a decline in people going there? Will they pay? Will the courts make sure they pay?
If there's a lawsuit, the courts, I think, will issue some sort of damage award. But I think they're going to pay much more than whatever could happen in a courtroom. The PR and the everybody knows about this now. We're all afraid to go there now. So I think that's the lost revenue in the future is how they're probably going to suffer the most.
Absolutely. And even from a PR standpoint, the fact that they now know about this, they better show the public that they're interested in their safety.
I guess I just keep going back to that little boy in New Hampshire in 1986, and Disney did know about this, and Disney didn't do anything about it, and still, it really should be held liable for this. It's such a tragic story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Christi and Remy. As the president meets with the